All right, that's the sign right there. We are now live. Welcome. This is Chris Turner, aka DJ Venom. I am here with quite a few people here from Elite Blingers and also Kingdom of Blingdom. We've got some great people we want to talk to today. We're hoping that you come in for either the replay or one of our live shows here. All you have to do is click the like button if you enjoy this video, and then I also ask that you subscribe, share, comment, do all of those things. But there's nothing more real than getting into one of these Zoom conferences and being able to personalize your experience. So please come in and join us. And for now, though, I'd like to welcome Miss Nancy and June, Crystal. We've got Christina, Tony, Stacy, Joyce, and Felicia all in the house. Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So we have some exciting things to talk about, and I can't. I literally I can't wait. Right, I'm so anxious to hear how everybody felt over this weekend and coming back from Las Vegas convention. So Stacy was one of the very first persons. Like, she popped in here immediately as soon as I send out this link. So Stacy, good morning. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Good. Fired up, like I said. I am going to get a COVID test today just to be on the safe side because, let's face it, we were around a lot of people. So I just want to make sure that I'm all good and ready to keep being around other people, that I'm safe for my family. So I'm excited to get that done and get cleared.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you, because of all the people that were out there. I'm still trying to recover somewhat from COVID. So
yeah,
I'm sure hoping Sarah doesn't bring me any kind of mutation of it.
I know. Well, I had made the appointment like before I left. So I told both her and Raquel, I said, all right, ladies, I'm going on, I'll be there Monday. My appointment's at 1:30. I'll let you know how I am.
Yeah, please do. I want to make sure I get that special instant minute to run if I need to.
Right. But I feel protected, by my guards and my angels. And I think that all will be okay.
Well,
I'm moving. I'm up and moving. So that's a good thing, right?
Right. Crystal says she's not feeling too good today. So I'm hoping that it obviously probably doesn't have anything to do with that, but definitely hope you get feeling better, Crystal. So Stacy, you did get to enjoy that convention experience, and this was your first time. So yes. Why don't you kind of let everybody know, just give us your experience.
God, I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. Convention. I knew at least that from hearing it from other people, like, this is a really great company, the founders are really great. And that, like, you get a sense of it because of how the company is ran, right? In general, like, we have a great compensation plan, like everything is really, how we made the 45%, the 5 days new releases, just kind of what they do and provide on a daily basis. Like, you get an idea of it. But I think for me, because there's so many amazing pinpoints and things and speakers and just, they get how they give and how they, all the things that they do, right? All the amazing things that they do and provide to other people. But I think it really hit home. And it was the very first day that we had the, I forget what they call it now, but the speaking part, or when we would go
general admission or something
there,
like that.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it now. I don't know. Drew blank.
General session, I think.
General session, yes. So the general session, and Misty, really, I wish I would have been able to record everything she said, because she brought it home. She made it so relatable in the fact that, like, and I'm going to say this, so I don't mean to offend anybody, but she has worked her ass off in the last year to continue to fight for her company, to fight for all of us. Like, that poor woman gets zero rest. And like she said, and like she just kind of, it was so relatable in the fact that she, you know, would tell Trent, like, come home and just be like, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to give and I'm going to give and I'm going to give, and it will never be good enough. They will always still find something to complain about. And it just was like, oh my God, you poor thing. Like, you poor thing. And we all can relate to that. We all can relate to the fact that, like, we do and we give and we try and we push and we build and we do all of it. And some days it's like, it's never gonna be good enough. I'm never gonna make this happen. I just want to rest. Like she said, I want to be able to go out to lunch with my friends when they invite me. I want to come home at a decent hour. I want to sit down and have dinner with you guys. I want to go to the gym. Because she doesn't. She works and she works and she works. And she just talked about, you know, how, like, you know, she begged and pleaded and, you know, like, okay, so here's this huge mountain, and telling God, like, okay, like, how about I give you back that big mountain and I'll just take this littler one. It still looks good. I can, you know, it's a little bit, but, you know, to climb what she saw in front of her and to conquer all the things that laid in her way. She was willing to be like, yeah, that's probably the better way. But I like this smaller mountain. It looks a little easier to climb, maybe not as much difficulty, but, you know, like she said, God was like, no, here's your shovel, go. We're not trading. This is what you're doing. This is what you're meant to do. And you need to do it. And that,
right. And I did see that, you know, I didn't get to see a whole lot of convention that I would like to have, but I did see a quote of her saying something like, I asked God to move the mountain and he handed me a shovel.
Yes.
I thought that was awesome.
Yes. Yep. And it was just, it really, you know, it just, again, it was so relatable. And the fact that, like, she's just like us, and they're pushing so hard, just like all of us, and they're not giving up like all of us, you know, and talking about how people complain and like, well, my sponsor didn't do this and my person didn't do, and then, you know, like Trent said, what, your sponsor? He goes, where's my sponsor? He goes, I didn't have a sponsor. I didn't have anybody showing me the way. We just do it. We just did it, you know. And Misty talking about, this was the best. And I made a graphic for it to post too, is that if you are going to quit over a piece of jewelry, you were never going to win in the first place. You were always a quitter.
Another one that I got to see that I liked. Yes.
I mean, it was just like, preach it, girl. You better take that home right there, because it's true. There's just so many people. Well, I didn't get this, or this isn't happening for me. And I mean, and then just tying it into, you know, the closing with Trent Shelton, and my notes are insanely crazy. I got to even try to figure out what the hell I wrote down, because I was trying to write so fast to keep up with all of his amazing words and theories and phrases, and just, like, you know, coming to Jesus, like, topics. I mean, he was incredible. He just incredible. But
well, and they say that when Trent Kirby talks, I mean, it's like he does take you to church. Hey. Like, there's no doubt.
Hello.
Trent takes you to church, but this Trent Shelton, he took you to church, and then he home, and then he took you back again. I mean, he was just amazing.
Hey, sorry,
yeah,
I hate
Joyce.
But somebody just hit me in the rear end, and I got to get off right now.
Oh
no!
Yeah, I'm okay. They hit me in the parking lot, but I'm okay. I got to take care of this. I'll have to catch a replay.
Call me. I'm so sorry, Joyce. Well, I hope you have a good day, hon.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
She can't catch a break, that woman.
I'm telling you. You know, and real quick, I apologize, Stacy. You were on some great topic there, but that reminds me that I didn't get to do my morning prayer this morning. Like I'm trying to, instead of praying necessarily at the end, I like to pray at the beginning to kind of like open the doors for this. Mm-hmm. So I want to do that real quick, and you know, this is a perfect opportunity since Joyce just had a little spill there. Let's put some safety on that too. So, dear Lord, I just come to you with all of my friends and family here in Paparazzi, and we ask that you that you continue to bless us with this amazing opportunity, Lord, and open our minds and our hearts and our thoughts and our feelings, and turn everything that we have inside of us right now, Lord, positive. And know that through this business, through ourselves, through hard work, and through having faith in you, Lord, that we can get through this business and see nothing but success on the other side, Lord. And I do ask that you please protect Joyce right now. Make sure that she doesn't have any kind of anything that comes back at her later, Lord. Please, she's been given a rough hand lately, and we can definitely we'd like to promote some calmness for her, Lord. So if you can do that for us, in Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right. So thank you for letting me get into that. Oh, Crystal, you got to go too. That's too bad. I really want to. If you can come back, because I want to hear your experience too. Like I'm going to talk to Stacy. I want to talk to Nancy too. I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to talk to anybody that went to convention, because we're all living through you vicariously. Okay, so go ahead, Stacy. Continue. You were just talking about Trent taking you to church.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was Shelton, but yeah, he had.
Oh, Shelton. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he had so many. Well, Trent Shelton, but yeah, he had so many amazing things to say. But our Trent too, our Trent Kirby. I really like that he said, that we don't gain our self-worth from things we do, that we were born with it, and just trying to remember that, on a daily basis. It was just so much motivation as far as, believing in yourself. I took away a lot of that, a lot of believing in yourself and not listening to others. And we only get one shot. We only get one life. This is only, take it, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, it's just, what are we going to leave in this world? What are we going to, leave with our family and our friends? And what are they going to remember about us? And, once that we're not living, will we continue to live through our actions of what we've done?
Right. Well, we talked about afterwards. Right. I get it. I love it. Well, thank you. And I want to hear more about like the entertainment part of it and things like that too. But I want to see what Nancy has to say about her first experience of Paparazzi as well too, because she just got to go there with her sponsor, Tina Lyon. And how do you feel about your experience with this first time convention?
There we go. That way I'm not talking muted.
There you go.
Actually, I work for a big company as it is. And I started with the company I'm currently with back in 2003. And when I first started with this company, I'm a sales professional for the company I work for. We would have those big type of events. And I always brought back so much from it. I just took it all in. Of course, I didn't have to pay for it. So I had to mandatory be there and be in my general sessions. And they had live entertainment. They had motivational speakers. And I always loved that about the company I worked for, because I was able to retain and learn from it and bring back. So what I really loved about this convention, amongst all of the conventions I've ever attended, was that it was all I put into it. Whatever I put into it is what I'm going to get out of it. And so, myself getting to go out there and just reinvest in myself, and then really just took it all in. And I made use of that time, and I really appreciated I've never, this is my first year being with Paparazzi. And when I got into it, because literally I was buying a good $100 worth of jewelry a week from Tina. And
Right.
I was watching her lives, and by Friday, my PayPal is like $150, $150. And I really loved the jewelry, and seeing it live gives it way more justice than just posting a picture of it here and there, whatever. So when you go live, it promotes itself. And when you can do a live event, I've done 3 actually come and go meet and greet live events. And my very first event was last September, Labor Day weekend. And I did a 3-hour come and go meet and greet down in Odessa, Texas. And I sold right at about $700 worth of jewelry in 3 hours. And
Wow.
so I was just like on fire. Like, and as a sales rep already for what I do professionally, and being able to I love talking to people. I love being able to just kind of lift them up too. And so we were talking about the jewelry, and it's a compulse. If it's right there for them to touch, they're going to take it away with them. If it's right there in their hands, they can walk away with it. I know being at convention this past week and getting to see all the jewelry out in the cases and being able to touch it and see how sparkly and how pretty and beautiful it is in real life, and those pieces being $5, it's like, oh my goodness. And so I actually sold several of those Z pieces. I ended up placing an order and ordered probably close to $300 in Z pieces that I sold last week at convention.
That is great.
Yeah. And so I was just like, oh my goodness, so convention, and we sat down, Tina and I sat down, and probably for about a good 2 hours, we laid out what our goals are, and what personal, what her goals were, what my goals were, and then what our goals are as a team, and where we've been and where we want to move forward to, and how we're going to get there, and hold each other accountable. There's going to be times I'm not going to want to do this, or she's not going to want to do that. And we've kind of made a pact to one another, that we will push each other, and we will be there to keep each other moving forward, and commit to one another where we want to go as a team and everything.
Definitely.
And so I think, and I love work. And before I moved to Oklahoma, I didn't even know Tina. She was working for the same company I worked for. I actually come from Texas. And so working with her, and then there's been so many changes in our professional, our career, our 8-to-5 jobs, that, it moved her to North Carolina, and, I'm here in Oklahoma, and we've made that bridge of still being able to be in contact with one another, and making sure that we're still, on a weekly and almost daily basis, that we're in touch with one another, and we're
Right.
both.
And I don't want to go give away any secrets or nothing like that, but I know the industry. I know where you and Tina both work, and it's one of those things that, this is something that we've talked about in these Zoom conferences, is that the world is kind of automating. It's going digital. Everything's changing. There's people that are cashiers that are no longer able to be a cashier because they're coming up with self-checkouts, and, or you have to scan so fast that, you have to keep that production rate up to make sure that you're making enough money for your employer. Otherwise, if you're not scanning fast enough, so I've personally seen some great people that I've known that have been checkers, and they're great checkers, they're great customer service. So the best person that you'd love to have at the end of your shopping experience, right? But at the same time, they're not able to keep that job anymore because the bosses feel that they're spending too much time talking to the customer rather than scanning those products and getting them through. And they would rather pay somebody 25 cents more to push 300 products through the line rather than push 300 people through the line. You know what I'm saying? And so everything is kind of changing for that aspect. And you're right here on the cusp of this amazing opportunity with a network marketing company that has now not only like, provided a little bit of a cushion there because of that transition with your other job, but now maybe completely taking you out of it altogether. Right.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
that's a blessing in itself right there. And I want to just tell you, Nancy, that I do follow you. I do see what you and Tina are doing. And you do know that I occasionally, hey, how are you doing? Do you need anything? And I'm always there for you too. But when it comes to seriously wanting to work this business, when it comes to seriously wanting to plan out a future in paparazzi, feel free by all means to get me involved in that as well, to help with that maybe, or even be able to possibly just, I don't know, show some, I follow a lot of these elite leaders up there. And besides, Marissa Clark, who's amazing, and she's got a story of her own. There's so many people in this business that I've seen their stories that even though I may not have the experience quite yet, I do have quite a bit of the knowledge of seeing what a lot of these people are doing. So I just want to just let you know that I would love to be more involved in your business, especially for those people that are really wanting to take this into a career. Like the people that are looking to make this business become their passion and their drive. Those are the people that I feel like I'm talking to. Those are the ones that I feel have their ears open to the things that I'm trying to share. So, you're my audience. So definitely be there. Anytime you need me, I am here. I just want to say that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hello, Miss Marissa. Yes, please share. Hello, Brittany. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. I know I don't even know what you guys are talking about right now, but I was up really late last night and I have a genius idea I want to share with you real quick for a messenger party.
Oh, okay.
So you know how when we're on live, there's a game that you could play called like Name the Song, right? But we can't really, you have to like do the lyrics or whatever. You can't really play the music or Facebook will cut you off, right?
Okay.
Well, you could do that in a messenger party. If you're doing a messenger party, you can play Name That Song because you can record like a little snippet of the song, like play it and then send it, and you won't get like cut off or anything because it's in Messenger.
That's true. That does sound like fun.
I'm so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, why did I never think of that?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a plus because they can't, there's nothing for them to stop then at that point if you're just taking a small little audio clip.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, welcome here, Brittany. Did you happen to get to go to convention?
I did not, but I'm going next year.
Okay. Well, that's what we were talking about right now. I was just talking with Nancy. Nancy had just been her first convention, and we were talking about how she she already works with a big company. I mean, it's a national company. She already works with this big company in sales and so forth, but this paparazzi experience was definitely kind of it was a good thing for her. And her sponsor have been talking about how they're going to continue to use paparazzi to become their number one source of income. She was just talking about how this is slowly taking her out of that other field. And so I wanted to ask you, Nancy, like, has it already freed up your time with as far as like the time you had before and the time you have now? I mean, I know you're using a lot of your time right now to build your paparazzi, right? But are you getting any of that time back from not having to work your other job as much?
Well, right now I'm still working the other job. I'll officially give my notice here Wednesday. But
Wow.
I don't foresee I don't see a slowdown. I don't see a slowdown for me. I made a pact with myself coming back, and I don't want it to feel like that New Year's resolution. Oh, we've just been to convention. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then you get back into those stagnant waters and you just kind of sit there again. And I've been sitting in stagnant water. So I made a pact. Now, I did do overnight travel coming home on Friday night after the concert. I traveled Saturday and made it home around 2:00. Went to dinner, got home, and I didn't do anything Saturday night. And I felt a little bit like, oh, I need to do something. I just need to do something. But literally, I had flown on a plane for 12 hours. So I was like, okay, it's okay. You know, Sunday I got up, and I've got a big week this week. I've got a bunch of family coming into town. So, but I'm not letting, that is your no excuses. I've got to clean rooms up. I've got to get stuff ready for this big family event we're hosting here at my house this weekend. But I'm not, again, I'm no excuses. So yesterday I made time to get everything on my checklist done. I went live. I only planned on being live for like 30 minutes. I haven't been live in over 6 months that I've actually gone live, set on, a video and talked to people and showed jewelry. And so yesterday I got my room cleaned up. I had everything set up and I went live, and before I knew it, I was live for an hour and a half, and I moved over 20 pieces of jewelry in an hour and a half. I sold over 20 pieces.
Isn't that awesome though, that you could say you were online for an hour? Like it just overwhelms you that like 1 minute I didn't want to do it for 5 minutes, and then next thing you know, I'm spending an hour and a half doing it.
Well, and I've had so many watching the replay, like my text messages and my messaging coming through today is just from my live yesterday, so I'm still selling jewelry today over that one live I did yesterday for an hour and a half. And, I know that's not going to be every time, but Tina and I did set us a goal of what we need to be reinvesting each week. Well, to be reinvesting that each week, how much jewelry we need to sell each week. And so we both have our number, and numbers are important. If you don't know your number, there's really
Nancy,
not a point.
girl.
Yeah, so it's like you got to know that number. And so with us both sitting down and just laying out our plan and knowing our number and knowing what we want to be, what we want at the end of the week. And it, honestly, and what I took in most from convention is the energy. What my why is, I want that energy that everyone that really just throws themselves wholeheartely into this is the energy that they have and they carry with them. And that for me, it's not the money. I just want the energy. I just want that energy. I love it. It's positive. It's encouraging. It's just like, so that was my big takeaway from Las Vegas. The concerts were great. Don't get me wrong, but just the energy that I felt, the people I was around, and just the positivity that they carried with them. I'm like, oh my gosh, that alone is what pushes me forward. Yes.
Right. And it's great too that you were able to actually get to meet some of your teammates, and see some of the people within Paparazzi. Sarah was just like elated that she got to meet you and Tina. And she was like, I can't believe, like, they're just so perfect, for our team. And I'm just like, I'm so excited to see what's going to happen when I go next year, because I am big on that kind of stuff. I like energy. Energy just thrives me. So that's awesome to hear. I'm so glad, Nancy, that you enjoyed your time, and I'm hoping that you come in for more and more of these Zooms. I'd like to get Tina in here whenever we can too, because as you guys are wanting to, grow in this business, as much as your personal sales and your numbers and all those things count. Growing a team is important too, right? And you guys seem to have that, right? The mentality that, like, I would love to get into more and more teammates here, more and more people that can see and feel like, yeah, I can do this too. We have a lot of people that are in this team that don't even get active every month just because they feel overwhelmed with the responsibility of just having a business of their own, and making this become fruitful for them, and having more and more people like you and Tina that are doing it, that have set your paces and are setting your goals and doing the math and using the numbers. Man, that's the infection that I want to fill everybody with. That's the contagious stuff that I want to see go around in here. So thank you so much. Real quick, I want to say hi to Miss Marissa.
Hello.
How are you, buddy? I miss you.
I know. You know what? I'm jumping right into Monday morning. I've got the kids off to school and I'm getting busy. And I'm so excited to see Miss Nancy in here because it was so great to meet you at convention and to hear the words that you're saying. I was listening, I was inviting, but to hear you say that makes that whole week worth it for me because that's what I want you guys to get out of it. That's what I want my team to get out of it because that's what I've gotten every single year when I've went. It is like that. You've got a fresh new start, that New Year's resolution, but don't let it go, right? Like there's a lot of people you're going to see, your friends, your teammates around you. You're going to see people who are really excited and they've got this plan and they're going gung-ho and they go and then they give up. And when you start to see them give up, when you start to see their flame go out a little bit, give them a little bit more encouragement. Say, hey, girlfriend, remember when we said we were going to, or remember when that speaker said blah, blah, blah. And if you didn't go, then you're going to hear all of these things from us all. But encourage your partners, your sidelines, your uplines, and your downlines to not give up and to just continue to push. And man, even if half of us, I was telling Andre, even if half of us gave our all in, holy moly, Blingers would be like, everybody would know who we are. Okay.
We need to start an Elite Blinger thing or Kingdom of Blingdom or just our team all together. We need to just start a share the shovel.
Yes, because you know what? Like everybody really has the best opportunity right now, whether you went or not. Like even I know there's more people that didn't go than that did. And I just want you guys to feed off of the ones who did go because we have that energy. We have that excitement. And so I'm hoping maybe like even if a few of us could come on Blingers and share what their experience was because we have people who this was my fourth, but we have a couple of people. I think Sarah, this was her third, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what,
so we have a few people.
I'd like to do just on a little side note is if maybe you can gather the people and set up the time. I'll go live on the Zoom. We can bring everybody into a Zoom and we can put it live on Blingers.
That would be fun. Okay, let's do that. Let's talk about that today. You can
because like right now we're live on YouTube, but I can choose to go live on Blingers instead. And we can go live there. And then I can record this as well.
That would be good that we could all kind of just talk because I know that each person took away something a little bit different. And like I said, this is their first. We had girls who just joined and made it an effort to come. And then we had some that this was their second and third year. So I think that every person took something different. And so that will be great for us to be able to share. But Miss Nancy, it was so good to just open the Zoom and see you on there. And I thought, okay, maybe she's going to be one of the ones.
Right.
And it's so good to see you guys all. I'm so happy that everybody got up on a Monday morning and said, hey, let me get in on that Zoom. Even if I'm not on there with my face, it's okay. I'm there.
Right. All right. And so let me ask you, Marissa. So these people that have, lived and seen this experience with you, what did it feel like to walk that stage as an A-lister?
Oh my God, you're going to make me cry.
I know. I'm trying because I know the feelings that you feel right now because I've got goosebumps.
Yeah. It's not about me. That I hope that you guys know that when you hit a rank, when you get fashionista, when you get A-lister and things like that, it is not about my personal PV. That's life of the party. Okay. That's my responsibility. But when you rank, it is solely your team's OV. It really is every single blinger, every box that you guys have sold, every piece of jewelry that you've put in your cart and checked out with. Like that's what that is. And I know that I pushed you guys and we went, whew, man, that was not easy, but we did it. And so when I walked that stage, I really just thanked God for all of you guys, because with his strength and bringing you guys to me to lead you, that's how we got across that stage. So I walked it with just the most thankfulness in my heart. And I just want more of Blingers to be able to walk that stage and to be able to experience that, to be able to wear that pink lanyard. That was a big thing for a lot of people, that elites get to wear the pink lanyard. And whether it's silly or not, if that's your goal, if you want to be there at convention the next year with the pink lanyard, like, I want to help you get there. I want other blingers to be on the stage in front of me in line and in back of me. Like, I want to do this together. And I think that was an overwhelming feeling that I felt on that stage as well, is that I want my peers with me doing this on this stage with me.
You know, I don't think that I've ever heard like anything more brilliant ever. Like that's so amazing. Like, I love everything you just said right there, because that's the thing about this, is that you didn't go up there as an A-lister, as Miss Marissa Clark A-lister.
No.
She went up there as Elite Blingers,
Yes.
Marissa Clark A-lister, you know, and it's about the team. And, you know, the way you said that, like, every piece of jewelry that you've sold through this business, like, as a teammate of mine, like, that has, like, brought, man, that's powerful. It makes you feel like, you know, we may be asking you to go active. We may be asking you to, you know, just if that symbolist thing, go active. But that's just those one more pieces of jewelry that may have made or break, you know, all of this work that everybody's putting in together. So that's man.
Oh, yes, that's totally my heart. And I hope that you guys feel that way. And I know a few of you did get to walk the stage, which was amazing. And I know that they felt the same way. They want their teammates to walk it too. Like, we want this for you guys. This is not my success is the best success. No, it's like, your guys' success is what makes our little heart happy. So guys, reach out if you really want to walk the stage, or if you really want to hit your different goals. We want to help you do it. So really reach out and listen and plug in, please.
Look, and I just want to add, you know, these elite leaders that we're all talking about, the other A-listers, the jet setters, the Lux jet setters, all of these people that we're talking about here, they didn't just keep to themselves and do it alone and build their team. They networked with their group. They networked with their teammates. They really became part of the company, and that's how they got to that level. They didn't do this solo, and you're not either. You know, you're going to want to have people to follow. You know, you got to be able to make your own path, but then leave a trail. So, you know, that's important, you know. And the more that I think, like, you know, you, Nancy, and Tina, and you know, anybody in here that's got a teammate underneath them, any leaders at all, the more that you come into these Zoom conferences, I think it's going to be better, not only for you and your teams, but the whole team in general, because it's just going to help us facilitate this training, you know.
It's
and
a good
you guys
kind of contagious.
Right. And I mean, everybody's played telephone, right? And, you know, my pastor just yesterday was talking a lot about, like, copy and paste, right? So you can even have just even a post that's a copy and paste post, and then everybody's got a cheat, and, you know, they eventually change it, and they change it, and they change it, and they change it, and it trickles down and it dilutes, right? Well, we need to keep that strong. And so the more communication and the more original out there, the less copy and paste that we're doing, the better off we are. So I think we all need to be able to bounce off of each other and come up with those original ideas and these original ways to make this business work. And man, it's all in the teamwork.
Agreed.
So real quick, I'd like to talk to Miss Helen, because Helen is also a first-time convention goer, and she's in the room. So please, Helen, what do you have to tell us about your experience?
Oh man, my voice is gonna come and go, as Marissa can attest to. I got loud pipes and I used them at convention.
That's awesome.
It was amazing to see all the blingers. It was the guest speakers were so motivating that, lighting a fire under your butt, basically. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you all in? What does all in mean to you? That was huge. I loved that little, they gave us like a slot token that is paparazziized, and you're supposed to initial it and hang it somewhere, put it somewhere where you see it every day, and that's your all in reminder. What does it mean to you if you went and you put your chips all on the table on poker, right? And then all of a sudden you decide, oh wait, that's too much, I need to bring that back. You can't do that. So what is your all in? And that's something still discovering. And I really, it hit like, what does that really mean to me? So I'm going through some, or I need to go through some voice recordings and take notes, because I was a little squished in there and I couldn't do any writing. So I did like voice memos and things.
And I love that all in right there. Like, you know what, curiosity, I would love to find out, or like, man, I want to see how many of us can put our chips on the table. How many of us really are all in? And like, when I say are all in, I'm not saying like let verbally all in. I'm talking about like, who is willing to put their chip on the table and say, you know what, bang for buck, I'm all in, and I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to commit. I'm willing to push. I'm willing to, get the, oh my God, go ahead, Marissa, please.
Now I got to figure out how to turn that hand off. Okay. So
No worries.
and I don't know if it's still on there because it shouldn't be on there. And this person who recorded it is going to get into trouble. But I do want to say that there is Gian Paul Rodriguez. That was his speech recorded, and it's on YouTube right now at Paparazzi. Oh. So somebody recorded it. Luckily, they're not on our team. It was against compliance to do that, but anybody who missed it or wants to rewatch it, it's on there. I'm sure it's going to be taken down soon, but
could you link me?
Yes, I think I've got it. I sent it to Andre last night, and we're going to do some stuff. You call me after you're done, Chris, and we're going to do more with this all in. We're going to do more with this chip. I'm currently got it in my lap working on it. So
yeah, and I've got some things in my head. I already told you yesterday, we need to talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to watch that, let me put it in the little chat thing. I don't know.
It should, yeah. Tiffany, did Tiffany go to convention?
She did. I don't know if she can talk.
Awesome. If you can talk, Tiffany, please feel free to unmute.
Hi, I'm here. Yes, I went, and oh my gosh, there were like bits and pieces of everything that I kind of like tucked into my heart and gonna implement them, like the all in. I was really excited that they give you a visual to kind of like look at every single day to motivate you, to remind you what you're in this for. And I think it's going to propel me, because I kind of pulled back, during the summer because my husband was so sick. And I think that's really going to help us, as a team, all of us who went to convention, and then we're going to be able to encourage the ones who didn't. But I was really, really, really moved by all the motivational speakers and all their encouraging words. And of course, how Misty explained, like the fashions and the colors and the pieces really helped as well. And then of
Oh my
course,
gosh, speaking of pieces, those Z pieces and that
oh,
and the whole celebrity of it, like the celebration of the Z pieces was just amazing.
it was. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about that oil spill. I mean, that one's just better than the last to me. It's just gorgeous.
See, and you guys got to see it up front, feel it. You guys got to look at it in the cases. You got to see it modeled by the models. You got
Uh-huh.
to, man, you guys got to like live
Got to try it on.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, though, and that's something that you can't do through the computer, from your house. You can't do that. Even if you go to the corporate office, being able to be the first people to see the Z piece and put it out there and wear it and see it and feel it, touch it, meet the models, meet Misty. I'm just I can't believe the excitement that I'm feeling from it.
And you're feeling it from just seeing it, right? And like you're saying, like to be able to go there and to touch it and to see it in person is really, really cool. And it gives a jump start on your sales. I think that everybody who worked their business while they were at convention saw a change in sales for the good.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Does anybody, real quick, before I move what I want to do, I got something I want to do next, but before I do that, does anybody have any questions, especially those of you that didn't get to go to convention or that want to go to convention in the future? We'd really love to have your questions about. Anybody?
I don't have questions, but I have to say I was completely starstruck talking to like Danielle Baker and getting pictures with Danielle and Taylor. I saw him at the gala and I was just like, oh my God, I've been dying to meet you. And just, I'm sure he gets that all the time, but and then my coworkers at work today.
Good, so I'm glad you told them that.
Cool.
It still feels good.
My coworkers asked me if I met any celebrities. I go, oh my God, the celebrities I met, but they're all paparazzi celebrities, so nobody you would know.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm waiting for Raquel to get her audio connected here so that she either can hear what we're saying or at least be part of the conversation, because she also got to go to convention. So what I want to do is this is how we're going to do this. When Raquel comes on, I want to talk to her a little bit about her convention experience. And then what I would like to do is I would like to do a round robin with those of you that have been to convention. And I would like you to each just take a minute and like speak to everybody out there, like that's watching, that will see the replay, that's here now with us, that are on your team. Speak to anybody and everybody you want to about what convention did to you, and like just give us your full apple of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I'm hoping. It's it's early in the morning for me, Marissa, so
I know it is. And it's like it's not early in the morning, but my schedule's like super off. So when I looked down at my phone, it said 9:18. I was like, crap, I hope Chris started it.
Yes. And let me tell you, I have come up with some observations, let's just say, right? Now, I will tell you that over the week of convention, I have noticed that already a lot of those people, like the majority of the people that I feel are like really going for it, were there at convention.
Yes.
That a lot of the people that I see daily in these Zoom conferences, Helen and Faith and Charlotte and Kimberly and a lot of those faces that are in here were all in convention, and it was a lot slower out here for the rest of us. And so that just goes to show you.
Yes.
I think it just goes to show you guys that like when we're talking about living that dream, you know, and communicating with each other and like, you know, growing and building a network of us doing this as a group. I think that just goes to show you though the ones that are have their chips on the table. And I'm not
Yep.
saying that just because you didn't get to go to convention that you're not all in. Please don't
No.
I don't mean that at all. Okay. I
No.
know that I'm just saying that I can recognize those of you that want to be all in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We're going to have a whole group of all in that went to convention and a bigger group of people that are all in that didn't get to go to convention. So we're going to definitely be working on this week. And with God's strength, I'm going to be able to get through it quick as possible because I want to get all of the material and stuff out to you guys so that we can get started. I just realized that, I mean, we're almost a third of the way through the month. That's incredible.
I know.
Where did that go?
Right?
It was at convention. I get it. That's where it went. But I'm like, holy moly, we better hurry up and pick up some pace because a lot of you guys are talking to me about life of the party goals, and our OV is definitely not reflecting life of the party goals for people right now.
Amen to that, right?
Yeah.
Well, and this is like I said, guys, like if anything that I took out of this whole experience here is that I almost feel like we've got to share the shovel. We've got, you know, like they said that Misty Kirby, she said that she asked God to move a mountain and he handed her a shovel.
Yep.
And I think that we've got to get not necessarily get in there and shovel for other people, but we've got to start giving people their shovels and telling them, hey, you know what? If you want it, dig.
Yes. You got to do it.
Dig.
Yep.
Yeah, like I'm not necessarily telling you that you can or can't have it. This is for you to decide. But if you want it, here's the tools.
Yes, agreed. Some of us might need a smaller shovel. That's okay. You know, maybe your shovel looks a little different than mine. That's all right. As long as you damn got one in your hand.
Right. I was going to say, Darren Hardy says basically giving people their monkey back. They ask you, how do I do this? Or, you know, I want to do this. And they're trying to give you their monkey to solve the problem. And it's you give them their monkey back and let them solve it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, naturally we're problem solvers, you know what I mean? And we're thinkers. And it's always good to rely on or lean on somebody, you know, but if you're not willing to put in the work, you know, that's where you're going to have a problem. That's where you're going to fall short all the time. You've got to put in the work to get the results.
It's not going to be handed to you. That's not the way the world works.
Right. And it's sad that, you know, unfortunately we don't get that color of the rainbow, but those of us that are realizing that, and those of us that are willing to put that time in, and those of us that are willing to do that work, we're the ones that are going to get it.
Yep.
You know, so if you have a teammate, this is what I want to put out to everybody here real quick before we do a little round robin. If you have a teammate, a team leader, or somebody on your team, somebody that's supporting you within Paparazzi, like you, please get them involved in the trainings and the coach and the groups and the pages and I mean the Zooms, just anything you can do to get them involved with each other. You know, that's what teammates do. That's what this team is going to do. That's how we're going to come together and have all of these people that are, instead of having single standing in line, we're going to be able to just come together in a big group, and it's just going to be able to overpower anything. So, Miss Nancy, so if you could just one last sum up, give us your last minute thoughts from convention and what you would tell somebody that may need a shovel. What would you tell that person?
I would tell them, I think we all have our shovels. Sometimes we just set it on a wall and forget about it for a little while. and then we find ourselves sitting in the hole, and we look up and our shovel's over there on the wall, and we're wondering how the heck are we going to get out of this hole? I say, don't put your shovel down. I know sometimes it's hard. And I totally related more on a personal level with this convention, just kind of direction I want to go in personally, professionally. And then it's just bringing each other up and picking each other up when you don't even know they're down. It's like you don't even know they're down unless we're reaching out and talking to them. So I would have to say my biggest takeaway from convention, and if you've never been to convention, is you got to want it. You got to want it, and you got to do it. And it's yourself investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself, and you're investing in the people around you that you want to be that energy around you. And that was an energy I've been missing for a short minute. So I'm glad I found it. It's definitely got me fired up and back on a path of knowing where I want to go and where I want to be at the end of the day. So I would, if whatever you got to do to get to convention, I would do it, and just self-invest in yourself as you're investing in this company, as you're buying boxes every day. Take a piece of that back and set it in a bank account. This is my self-investment for next year's convention. Whether it be $20 this week or $25 next week is my goal too, is I want to do more. I've never sold a Z piece in my life. I've bought a few pieces. I've never actually sold them. And like last week, I literally at convention spent close to $300 on Z pieces and sold every single one of them. So, selling $5 jewelry. I'm like, what the heck? Why am I not selling these Z pieces? So I was really pumped up and excited about that. So moving some Z pieces that, there was just so much. There really was just so much I could take back. And I just want to, again, it's the energy. I want to move forward with that energy. And that's why when I seen the Zoom meeting, I've never been on one of your Zoom meetings. And that was part of my commitment to myself and my promise I made to myself going forward in this next year is I want to be more committed to this, just,
I'm so glad.
personally and professionally. So that's my takeaway.
And how do you feel about the Zoom conference? How did you like this?
I do. I like it. I love it. I love being able to hear other people's feedback. And like I said, I've never been on one before, and it pops up. And you know what? I'm still working an 8 to 5 job. And today I was like, you know what? I said I was going to be committed to this. This is a promise I made to myself. This is where I want to move forward to. And so, I'm taking that time back. I'm taking that time back from my professional, my other job and reinvesting it right here to be a part of all of you today. And I have enjoyed every minute of it.
And real quick, I would just like everybody to really, since we're all here together, give her some celebratory support here, because Wednesday she is giving in her notice. She's done. She is quitting her full-time job and making Paparazzi her thing. So congratulations.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
We are so proud. That is awesome.
Isn't that great?
That's been a long time. I've been with this company for 18 years, and my 5-year mark with this company, I got a ring for being with the company for 5 years. At 10 years, they changed out one of my emerald and made it a diamond. And then at 15 years, they quit doing the diamonds. I should actually have 3 diamonds almost in that ring. And last week at convention, I took that ring off, and I have worn that ring for the last 13 years. For the last 13 years, I have worn that ring faithfully, like it was like I've been married to that company. And I literally had been married to that company. And I took that ring off last week, and I felt more sure about the direction I'm going in than I ever have before. So it'll be bittersweet.
Feel that in their heart. Like, did anybody feel that in their heart when she said she took that ring off?
And
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
I
that
did.
it's going,
Absolutely.
that was
That's
a,
huge.
yeah. So it was, and being at convention last week, just this gave me that reassurance, that self-confidence that all of these unknowns I've been struggling with, all of these what ifs I've been challenged with, it just gave me back. And I mean, just yesterday, like I said, I haven't done a live video and I can't tell you how long. And I only planned on doing for like 30 minutes. And I got on there and I was on there for an hour and a half when I was like, oh my gosh, I need to, I had no idea I'd been on there an hour and a half, but I moved over 20 pieces last night and I'm still moving pieces today for people watching the replay. And I've got people asking me through Messenger, hey, are you going to go live again tonight? And I'm like, yes, I've committed to doing at least 3 lives a week. I'm also committed to running at least 3 miles a week under 16 minutes each mile. And I'm going to get back to that too. So just working on myself, professionally and then physically and mentally. And this has been that movement I've been looking for. It's been that energy that's been right here in front of me. And I've just been kind of like, I left my shovel sitting over on the wall because it's time to dig. So.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I'm so I think that you're on the right track, especially with everything you've talked about, but most importantly, having that weekly goal.
Yes.
I think that's going to set you straight.
And
Thank
commitment,
you.
that weekly goal, that weekly commitment to yourself and to where it's at, where you want to be at the end of the day.
Right. Thank you so much. And so Miss Helen, what would you tell somebody that would encourage them to grab their shovel and start digging?
Oh, you're asking the wrong time of day. Oh, I'm honestly, I've been up I got 5 hours of sleep last night and I got 4 the night before driving home from Vegas because it was a very long trip. But what would inspire somebody to pick up that shovel and start digging?
Yeah, maybe something that convention has taught you.
Well, it really hit home that you need to just get in there or quit. Pardon my French, but shit or get off the pot kind of thing.
Right.
Truth.
Well,
we've made progress forward, not as much progress as neither Faith nor I would like, but we've been half-assing it a lot, and it's stopping now. I mean, I keep the video off because I'm working my day job, but it's stopping now.
right. Well, that's
no
great.
more half anything. That's right, girlfriend.
You got to get it. You got to get it. Well, good. All right. Well, good. I'm glad that you got to at least attend convention, that you and Faith were able to do it together. Hopefully that opened up her too. Hopefully she sees what, that there's more to this business that she's going to want, and it's going to take that work. You know what I mean?
I hope so. But, it's, I'm no longer taking this, it's action. This doesn't do a dang thing. You got to show it. You have to show that you're serious, and we'll see what happens. It's all part of
commitment, right?
That's it. That's the all in. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Thank you, Helen. And how about you, Tiffany? Would you have something that you would tell somebody that from your convention experience that would make them grab their shovel and start digging?
Yes, definitely. My advice would, and that they gave there, is don't compare your journey to someone else's. Yours looks totally different. And sometimes you're going to arrive before other people. Sometimes you're not, just love where you're at and keep pushing forward. Like me, in this for 2.5 years, I got one teammate, but to be proud of that and to keep pushing forward, knowing that you haven't arrived yet, that we're all working towards the next goal, and to really cheer each other on, as a team, to be excited for each other when we hit different ranks. And I think that's the most greatest thing, to see other teammates, hit those different ranks and to celebrate them up on the stage. Yeah, so that really propelled me.
Wasn't it just like, I can't imagine how you guys felt being able to walk into the auditorium, or even like just once you're there, just happen to just like look and see all of the people and all of the excitement. I mean, man, you guys literally just raised the roof. And I got to tell you, I did not expect Paparazzi to go all out like they did. Like, they literally like took over the MGM Grand. They re-wallpapered and floors and carpets, and like, I'm just like, holy cow.
I was a little curious about that. I was like, man, there's like, this is all paparazzi. This is all people. We just like took over this hotel. Everywhere you walk, there were people with lanyards. I mean, lots of people with lanyards, not just, oh, there's one. 5 minutes later, oh, look, there's another. It's like, oh, look, paparazzi. Oh, look, paparazzi. Everywhere.
We are paparazzi. Misty wanted
that's
that.
Right.
That's what she wants, is to be a household name, and that we are present, and that we are thick, and that I also noticed, because I've been several years, that this year people were more kind. I don't know if anybody else realized and got to enjoy that, but there was a lot more kindness this year. Maybe people were a little bit more understanding. And yeah, that auditorium was packed. I mean, packed. And it's COVID, right? And it's a pandemic, and a lot of people didn't show up. A lot of people couldn't get tickets, and that still shows you how packed it was. So we are definitely thick. We are really thick out there, and we're just going to continue to grow, right? I don't think we've hit the 500,000 consultant yet.
No, I don't think yet either, but we're close.
Yeah. And so if, just imagine every year we're going to continue to grow. There'll be people who quit, but there are going to be more people that grow.
Definitely. And so, Marissa, was that what you wanted to say, Tiffany, or did you have more to that? I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your feedback, and I thank you for coming into this Zoom also. So, Marissa, there's so much that I'd like to talk to you about. We didn't get to talk it all through the convention time. You guys were extremely busy, and I barely got to see and talk to Sarah. So, like, I'm really living the convention experience through everybody else's phones. And don't you know, I was watching and following everybody, like, seeing all of these different faces and pictures of everything. Oh boy, I see all of that excitement and everything that happened in convention as something that's like, man, invest in this for your business. Like, invest in this as a goal for next year. That you are going to go to convention next year. And look, here's the deal. So it may cost $250 in a ticket, and it may cost you a little bit of money in travel expenses and things of that nature. But the experience, like, this is all a business expense too. It's a write-off. So, like, enjoy it, build your business, right? But get what you want out of this business. If convention is, man, I can't imagine the excitement that you guys felt through that.
Yeah. And like Nancy had said, like put a little bit aside, make it important. And they used to have these things in the back office. And I don't know if they still have the one that says passport fund or something like that, but it's basically like a little piggy bank. And they had them for convention too before, like just stick in, if you have people that pay, cash, stick in some $5 bills and make it important that you have that funded there for the next year. Don't touch it. Don't say, oh, I need to make my car payment, I'm going to take that out. Don't do that. Just put it
Get
aside.
that discipline.
Because when that ticket does get released, you're not going to have to worry about it. You're not going to have to panic and try and sell X, Y, and Z amount of pieces so that you have the money. You have it there and it's ready. And before convention, they'll be Empower Me Pink first. And thank goodness that one's cheaper, but that one's very important as well. So that one usually comes up in January, February. I want you guys to start planning for that as well. It's called Empower Me Pink, and they take different tours around the United States. Not every state. They don't go to every state. So, but that will come before convention, and that's important as well. Any of these events.
Typically what, around like May, right?
No, it's like January, February.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was off.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so just have that business fund available, have that nest egg so that you don't have to stress when it does come. And you're going to want to be at any and all events that you can.
And like, man, Nancy said it so well earlier that like literally, guys, it's all in the numbers. So most importantly, like look around, look at your team, look at the people that you signed up with, and seriously, get these people active, get everybody working together. I mean, and for the whole of themselves and the team itself, like the numbers are where it's at. So if everybody were even just to be active, can you imagine how huge this team would be with all of the people that are in it being able to at least just be active? Those numbers, and then having those people get involved in the leadership and growing of this business, like that part of your business, that backbone of your business is all built off of what we do here as a team, right? And when we're talking about those long-term goals, if you want to be one of those elite leaders, the 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner, you've got to have a strong back, right? You need that backbone. So you're going to need this teamwork. You're going to need the people, all of you that have your chips in, you're going to need everybody's numbers to make that happen. So reach out to your teammates and make sure that, hey, if you haven't picked up your shovel, why haven't you? Because this is something that, like, I know I'm going to make it, and I want you to make it too. But if we do it together, if we literally do this together, that's like Marissa said, every little piece of jewelry that you've purchased, everything that you've bought in your experience in Paparazzi has led to this team coming together, and being an A-lister team. It's going to help Kingdom of Blingdom be an elite team, and eventually Nancy's going to lead those teams, and Helen's going to have those teams, and we're all going to have these huge teams that are built off of that solid core structure, but we got to have that backbone. So Angie, hello, Miss Angie. We've been talking about our kind of convention topic here with so much excitement that's been going on with that. And I know you've missed a whole lot of the conversation. Luckily, a lot of it'll be in the YouTube for you to replay. But what is your biggest take from convention? What can you tell us that just maybe might have changed you?
Definitely stay in your own lane, run your own race. You definitely need a strong backbone, and you can be up there with like your C-Key and your elite people, your Marissa Clarks, and all the higher ups. It's just so attainable. You know, I was really excited to see our girl Stacy Bennett up there for platinum. I know Angelina, one of the girls from my team, would have been up there as well had she went to convention. It was really neat going into the Walk of Fame. I think it was called the Walk of Fame room, where they had all the pictures of, and then they also had on big, large monitors everyone who attained bronze and platinum and producer, executive director. So they had big monitors, and you can actually see your name on there. So I think that Paparazzi did overall a really, really good job trying to include everyone. And you know, from your star consultants all the way to your, you know, your elite people, 6-figure earners and so forth. So I really think that they did a great job including everyone. No one left out. Oh, I'm on Zoom. Anyways, my husband was just asked.
No problem.
What? Okay, hang on one second, you guys. Can I come back 1 second? My husband needs me.
Yeah, do what you need to do. You know, and guys, wow, I didn't get to take in firsthand like Marissa and all of the convention goers did, but just from seeing all of these videos and stuff, like when I said MGM like got taken over by paparazzi, right? The floors, the ceilings, the walls, the windows, like everything was just all decal dressed and done in paparazzi. The whole thing was done with such like class, such professionalism. You know, the whole ceremony, everything was just class. I think, you know, and we're talking about $5 jewelry here, you know, and if that doesn't speak volumes. So anybody have anything that they'd like to bring up? Marissa, did you, you know, have anything that you wanted to add to?
I think Angie made a good point too, that they did make a conscious effort to recognize everyone from the star consultant just joining all the way up to iconic impressionista. There is room for you. And it's not even just in team building. That Misty got on that stage and told us we have the opportunity to make money in 2 separate areas. There's not a lot of jobs that have that. When you go to work, you get an hourly pay. When you are on salary, that's what you get, and that's set, right? And so for us, we have the opportunity to make money selling the jewelry and team building, or right? Like you can do both, or you don't have to. And so they do recognize that as well. It's not just, oh, the people who have the big teams are the ones who gets recognized. Those people who were life of the party, they were on that stage because they earned to be on that stage, because they sold the pieces to be on that stage. And so I do love that they recognize everyone all the way from bronze to, you know, Empire Emerald. I don't know why I'm the worst, but all the way to the top of life of the party. And wherever you want to be along there, if you want to be at the base level or you want to be at the highest, they're going to recognize you for that. So that was a great point as well.
Love it. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall. Like I am, you know what though? It's given me some real inner goals though. You know, like I've been dealing with this disability for a while, and it's time that like I get my shovel when it comes to my health, you know, and I start digging too, because I missed out on so much, and being able to go see my teammates and, you know, be able to see all of those people that I've talked to over and over and over again, you know, and yeah, they're getting to know Sarah, you know, like Sarah's, when she walks in a room, she lights it up anyway, you know? So, for me to be able to actually go and shake hands and bang elbows with the people that have, gotten us where we are, would be something amazing for me. So that's my take from this convention experience, is that I I want that convention experience. Like, I want to stand in line for 2.5 hours to be able to walk across the stage and, get my moment of recognition for all the hard work that we've done.
Absolutely.
And I want you guys to all to have that too.
Yeah, Faith and I were flabbergasted by the number of people in LOP Platinum and Diamond, I believe it was. It took half an hour per category at least to get everybody across the stage. It was just like mind-blowing. Like, oh my Lord, I want to be there. I want to be there.
And 3 years ago, they did that for gold.
Yes.
Gosh.
Right. And I'm betting because of the number of people, they had to like up it, level wise, because it's like, okay, we're going to never get through all this. But it was crazy cool to see all those successful people just for selling the jewelry, not even the team building, just the selling part of that. It was like, wow. Right. And you're right. Your queen, the queen of KoB, lights up a room, and that's, partly personality, partly that hair. I found that woman in that stadium, in that arena, by her hair.
I know, she was telling me everybody was like playing like Where's Waldo with her. Like, everybody was like looking for your guys' group because of her hair.
Mm-hmm.
I got to take pictures of her in the when we were watching Pitbull, and she was in the front row, and she saw that she was in the front row, and I'm like, oh, I found the whole Elite Blingers tribe in the front row. It was
you got to send me those pictures, Angie.
I will. I took pictures. Yeah. I took some. I'm sorry about that. I had to help my husband out with something real quick, but I took notes on certain things. I was really humbled by the experience. Now, I went for the full week, girl. I was all ready to go home by Wednesday. I'm telling you, as much as I wanted to be there, I found myself to be really homesick. And so I had to get through those feelings and emotions also. I don't really take off and go away from home. So that was a challenge for me. But I did the best that I could with what I was dealing with, that type of thing. What I got from the Elite panel, because I was able to rewatch it, the girls shared with the girls that I was with went. 2 of the girls went. I wasn't able to go see the Elite panel, but what I got from there was, I am possible, trust the process, give it to God, 6 earner because I am a 6 earner because I am possible. I have goals because I am possible. My new why, after this week, my business will be about my team. This is what I wrote down from what I got from the Elite panel. Because I found myself very humbled by the whole experience. I wasn't there. I felt like I wasn't there necessarily for myself, but I was there for the people that I'm going to meet in the future. That's what I really took away from this experience. After this week, my business will be about my team. It will be because of each and every one of my team. Live out God's purpose, my family, my customers. Greater is upon my tribe, lifetime relationships. So that's what I got in the nutshell from all of the entire week. I was in a more smaller group. I wasn't necessarily with the larger group of us, and I was okay with that. I did get to, run into Marissa. I was really excited for that. I met her in the Wall of Fame, or the Hall of Fame. I was able to take a picture with Michelle Egan, with Danielle Baker, and then also with Danielle Vassimer, the one with the Danielle necklace, the Z piece.
Oh, yeah.
So I was able to take good pictures, with, at least 3 of the elite people. I met also some people from, East Coast, Texas. There was a few people that I met from California that were paparazzi, and I just really enjoyed the conversations that I got to have with them.
Very cool. I heard that Elite panel was pretty amazing. I wish I would have been able to attend that too. Marissa, I'd love to get your notes from that.
Yeah, we the
You
girls
know I got 'em.
videotaped the girls videotaped it. And so we have an album, like it's like a Google share. And so we just uploaded all of our videos and pictures that we took for the entire trip. So I'd like to try to make a photo album somehow. I don't know how that's gonna work. But
I want to warn you, because I told the people earlier we weren't allowed to record in general session, and somebody has already been putting on YouTube
okay.
some videos. So be careful. I don't want you to
So
get in
it's just
trouble.
it's just with us then. I can read, I
Yeah,
can just
don't
take
put-
the notes.
Yeah,
I can
don't put
I
it
can
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I can share the notes only. That will be fine. I came back saying that I'm gonna do team live. So I'm gonna start doing the, Marissa, when you were doing the, daily 9 a.m. lives, that type of thing, and you were calling people in that way, I thought that was really good. And I think that helped a lot of people to get where they were at in their levels. I don't know if you're going to go back to that, or you plan to go back to that, that 9 a.m. But I think that was a big benefit for your, for the entire Elite Blingers team.
I
And also
definitely want to. It's in my goals.
Yeah,
I've got to
yeah.
work
And
on
then
me a little bit before I think that I can be 100% committed to doing that again. Maybe I
Yeah.
can go back to doing it once or twice a week instead of every morning.
Yeah.
Some of you guys just know I'm dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety, and so I would hate to commit to that and
You know,
just
at the
not be
same
able to
time-
show up.
At the same time, and I hate to, interrupt here, but remember, guys, we are all leaders. If you feel like there is something that you have that you would like to train to the rest of the team, like, I encourage you to come to Marissa or myself, and let us know, like, hey, I would gladly step in this day and do a training, or this day and do a training. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, the more people that are scheduled to do trainings and keep the page going and active, the better, so that's where these leadership lounges come into play, is that we have a bunch of different leaders in here, and it doesn't necessarily have to be me or Marissa or any one of you at any time to lead this troop. Like, we are all in it together. So like, I totally want to just kind of like encourage you guys to help step up and coach for a minute.
Yeah. Also, too, I don't know if you guys know, but
I hope you don't. Real quick though, I hope I wasn't stepping on toes with Marissa
though. United Fashionistas, Andrea Hutchinson and her husband, they were there. I got to see her, but I didn't get to take a picture. But I know that she's doing a daily power hour, and it is on Zoom also. So kind of like what we're doing here also, Christopher.
Right.
But I mean, I think, I don't know if you've seen that yet.
I have.
So, there's definitely enough resources out there to help you. And then they're opening it up to just anybody and everybody. Like, you don't have to be on their team to attend these sessions, type of thing. Let's see.
And I don't care where people get their information. It's all about networking and getting involved with each other. Real quick though, Angie, hold that for just a minute since you're about to move on. Let me check with Brittany and Nancy and see what they wanted to say real quick.
Okay.
Brittany, go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to agree with you, not trying to step on toes at all. I love Marissa and I love your trainings 100%. And I do miss you for sure. I miss your trainings. But ever since like other people kind of started hopping on and training as well, I do like the variety. Like, I like what other people have to say as well. And like, not everybody has the same backstory. Not everybody has gone through this journey the same way. So it's really cool to hear like advice from everybody. And sometimes when you hear little snippets from this person or that person, like, I don't know if this makes sense, but sometimes you hear it differently, or you take it differently. Like, everybody perceives the message in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the same message. So like I do enjoy hearing from everybody, and I appreciate everybody that comes on and like trains all of us. So but I do miss you, Marissa. I miss your trainings, but mental health is important, and you know, getting better is important.
Definitely. Thank you, Brittany. And Nancy?
Okay, I'm off of mute, so I'm not talking on a muted button. No, I would tell you, I know mental health is serious. It is it's out there. It's right next door. I personally have not had to deal with a mental health. I do know I had a complete almost meltdown, and I don't melt down like that. I have a very colorful health history. And this last time, and I think that's where, like, before I hit today, I knew I had to get mentally and physically right with my health again. And some things I just can't control. And I think this about right, we're probably hitting a month now, but I have a history of brain tumors, and
Oh no.
I had one removed 4 years ago that was the size of 2 golf balls on the left side of my brain, and they said I'd never be able to smile again. And that to me that was not an option, because I smile every day.
You have a wonderful smile.
You have to find something to smile in. If there is just one part of your day that you can't find a smile, you've got to be able to know how to reach out. But I mean, you can cry all day long, but if you can't find just one reason to smile, you have to smile. And so them telling me I'd never smile, I wouldn't be able to smile again because of the way removing the brain tumor and everything. I was like, well, whatever, we'll see when I wake up. 9 hours later, after massive brain surgery, I woke up smiling.
That's
I was
great.
smiling at my doctors. But this past November, we found another tumor, and I'd had to have it. I thought they removed it. I really did. I thought they removed it. I did radiation. What they did was they stunned the growth of it. And so a month ago, when I went and had my MRI done, and there's a tumor, I'm looking at my scans and there's another tumor. And at that very point, I'm like struggling in my personal life. I'm struggling in my career life. I'm struggling now in my health. And I'm like, there is a breaking point. There is a breaking point, and I don't cry because I'm like, no, it'll be fine. We'll get through it. It is what, we'll just keep moving. It's one foot in front of the other, put them big girl panties on and keep going.
Right.
And the first time I was just like, I can't do this, and I had to wait a whole week for my doctors in Dallas to be able to Zoom meet with me to go over the scans. And the whole week I'm like, what the heck, another tumor, and get on the Zoom meeting and they're like, Nancy, everything's great. And I'm like, but there's a tumor, right? I do have another tumor, right? And they're like, no, you do have a tumor. The tumor is still there, but that's the same tumor that was there in November. Oh my goodness. I was like so excited.
Oh my gosh.
But it's not a new tumor. That tumor's never going to go away. But with the radiation, they've treated it, this, that, or the other. It's not growing, it's not multiplying, and it's fine. It's not affecting me. It's okay. And so I dealt with that though for a week. And I thought that, people that are really struggling with mental depression, I can't even say I dealt with any kind of mental depression during that time, but just a depression that my health is not where I wanted it to be. And my health is just not like, what do I have to do? What am I going to do to do this and get over that hurdle? And for the first time 26 years ago, I had cancer. They gave my mom 3 days for me to live.
Oh my goodness.
In the state of Texas, there are no grandparent rights. I was 16 when I had my first daughter. I was 18 when they gave my mom 3 days for me to live. In Texas, my mom would have lost me and my daughter to my ex-mother-in-law because my ex-husband didn't want her, but he would have legally had rights over her. My mom would have fought for 18 years just to know my daughter. If anything had happened to me, she would have lost my daughter altogether. And so 26 years ago, did sit down with the doctors and talk to them and was like, you know what, we're just going to do whatever we got to do and we're going to get there. And 3 years after chemo, radiation, spinal taps, here we are. I'm done with treatment. And I'm not going to lie, the eve of her 18th birthday, I sat down with the good Lord and said, you know, good Lord, I told you, I only wanted 18 years. That's all I wanted.
Wow.
And the eve of her 18th birthday, I'm like, you know, good Lord, I did say 18 years, but I was just kidding. You know,
Wow, what a story.
She's 28 now and has 3 kids, and I'm cancer free for 26 years. And these brain tumors I have now are probably
Amen.
due to radiation that I went through during my chemo and stuff. But it's real. It does. It gets up here, it gets in your head, and I am here if anybody ever, I don't know everybody, and I just barely got to meet faces and put faces and actually be in the presence of a lot of you last week. And that to me that was the energy, like I said, when I started this, is to talk about it. And so I just want you all to know, if you don't have my number, I'll share it with you. If anybody wants to talk about, hey, I'm just having a bad day and I just need to cry for 5 minutes, you can call me. I will talk
That's
to you.
so
Let's
awesome.
talk about it. Let's move,
That's so great.
whatever we got to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
sometimes you have to air it out. You have to
You
air it
do.
out to be able to face it. Yeah, that's really good. And also the depression and mental illness, I worked in HR for 20 years. And I'm going to tell you, it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure. And I gave a lot of myself. And what happens when you give 100% of yourself and more so, and then you got to add your family on top of that, your marriage on top of that, your parents on top of that, supporting girlfriends on top of that. I totally get it. I had to take many wellness days for myself. I found myself, calling in sick to work and just, I need a mental health day. I would always say I stopped saying mental health. I started saying wellness day. Wellness day is so important. And I think that as women, we tend to take on more than, God will never give you more than you can handle. But as women, we like to take on more than we can handle. And sometimes, when the other thing that I took away from the convention was, you need to get out of God's way. You have to get out of God's way, and you have to listen to the leading of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is he's the comforter. God is a great physician. The Holy Spirit is a comforter, and when you're serving so many plates, it can get gruesome. And so I've been in those trenches and of my own personal life and my, and helping maybe a brother or sister in the Lord, helping them through crisis, help, carrying, we're called to help each other carry our burdens. Right. And so it can get overbearing. And so, but I think overall, this business has really shown me how to just give myself more grace, and not so much beat myself down for maybe not meeting maybe I set my expectation too high or letting people down, whatever it is. You still have to be true to yourself as a person,
And stay in your lane, right?
And stay in your lane, because I'm very competitive and I like to get ahead. I like to, hey, let me see how far I can get. Competitiveness is actually not a bad thing. But I'm in competition with myself. I'm not in competition with anybody else. I know that God's timing is everything and that I will get there when I get there. And I feel that,
just because you like to be in the front of your lane faster than the other lane, you can still get a speeding ticket.
You can still, and I've gotten those. Yeah, you're right. And I've gotten those speeding tickets. And why? Because maybe I was in a place where my heart wasn't right, or I'm trying to get ahead. And, I pay attention to a lot of the, just signs and things, that go around me, that kind of thing. What happened? Let me real quick. I want to tell you guys, we got to Fresno Airport. All of us finally, got me and the girls that I was flying out with to Vegas. And I parked my car in the parking lot and there was tar. It was a very, very hot Fresno Day. And there was tar, and we found front row parking. So we were like, oh, yay, God's favor, you know, like it was really close to get into the airport. And then, but there was tar all around my car. And so our feet started sticking to the ground. And, you know, when your feet stick to tar, right, it's, you know, hard, you got to pull it back up. Right. So there was already an obstacle there that we were faced with, you know, so we had to say, even if it's just tar, we had to say, okay, come on, girls, we can do this. Try to, you know, step in the places where there's not tar and get your luggage out as fast as you can from the car. Then we were walking out and there was this guy parked next to us and we had so much luggage with us. We were like, oh man, we're going to be hurting by the time we get to turn in our luggage. And there was this guy that came with one of those carts. You have to pay $5 for those carts. Well, he brought it to his car, put the thing, and he was supposed to walk the cart back. But he's like, hey, I'm finished with this. Do you want my cart? Right next to us. He was parking right there. So see, when the enemy comes up against you, the Spirit of the Lord will rise up above any circumstances or any situation. And you got to believe that. You got to believe that within you. And so, so I felt like, look at the tar was trying to hold us back, you know, slow us down from getting to our destination. But then there was a cart right there to carry our baggage. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, you know, like, yeah, let go of the baggage already. Like, stop, we got to let it go. And so that was just a great eye opener for me, just from the get go. And I'm like, man, I overpacked for this trip. A couple of us did, you know, so, you know, I just learned, I learned I need to travel more so that I can remember what to do when I'm flying, you know? So, I mean, lots of good things came out of it, but, you know, I think overall, you know, I'm grateful for the network of supporters that we have on our team and those that are coming new into our lives. And I'm just extremely grateful. I'm very humbled. Like I said, I got home, you guys. My husband was not feeling good. I couldn't even kiss my husband, you know, hi. And I was so happy he was so happy to see me. I was so happy to see him. Well, he had a sore throat. He goes, I have a sore throat. You might not want to kiss me. And I was like, okay. Well, then that night he started getting very fatigued. Well, the next morning he had a slight headache. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like, let's go get a COVID test. So sure enough, we did a home test and it came back positive. So I come home to my husband having COVID. So here I am, super pumped and ready to start my life and business, you know, but here I have an obstacle, you know, so now he's off the next 10 days. And I'm just like, I'm in, what do you call it?
Auntie.
Thank you, honey. Oh, I know. You know, I go, imagine if he would have gotten the COVID when I was there in Vegas, like how bad I know. And I'm like, okay, Lord. So I feel like God was really preparing me ahead of time for what's to come. And he'll do that, you guys. It gives me goosebumps to even share that because he will prepare you ahead of time. We just have to, you know, stay with him at all times. Don't feel bad. There's no condemnation in Christ Jesus. You know, there's no condemnation. So, but yeah, so he's hurting. He's feeling pretty bad. But he has to go to the doctor and go get tested so that the job will pay him, you know, but I'm telling you, it's kind of cruddy duddy, you know, but yeah, boy, my jewelry room is clean. I'm like, I'm ready to work. Look how clean my room is. It's just so like, wow, that's great. No boxes on the floor, you know. That's like, a great way to get it started anyway, right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I did it before I left and I wrote myself a note when I come back, you know, and yeah, I have a bling tray ready to go. So I'm going to go live but it is a lot, you guys. This business, it has so many different, I want to say the word is like an octopus. There's so many different tentacles. Yeah. To this business. And just stay centered, stay here, you know, as much as you can and then branch out when you need to, you know, that's all you can do. I got to give it to the girls that have kids at home, that you guys are still raising your families. Like, I'm serious. If you ever need to talk about raising kids, please, you know, my daughter, I have two daughters.
One is 26 and the other is 34. And let me tell you, I cried so many tears when my kids were growing up and when I was raising them, and I thought I was messing them up forever. I thought I was, so I had a lot of mind games. Like, you do the best that you can with your children, but they're living their lives too. So prayers for the kids going back to school. I see a lot of pictures of kids going back to school, like pray for them, pray for, their health and God's protection over them. And, and that they would be good ministers of God's love and the love that he's perfected in each of us. So we got lots to do, you guys, lots of work to do.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, hopefully we can all come together, and start building up one another. Let's get involved with each other, get involved with your teammates. Look at the direction and the path that you want to take in this business. If it's wanting to, make your money in sales, or if you're looking to start a team, and if you're wanting to start a team or build a team, what it's going to take to do that. And if you have the do you have what you need to do that? Do you have the training? Do you have the skills? Do you have the tips and the tricks? And if not, come into the Zooms, come into the training forums, come into those different areas, the power hours and things like that. And like, feed that we want you to grow bigger, but you don't get bigger by not feeding on the food, right? So take the food, get nourished, and grow. Real quick, Christina, I wanted to just you had mentioned wanting to open up a storefront, and I didn't get back to you on that, and I didn't see if anybody else did. But it is possible. You can definitely open up like a brick and mortar Paparazzi store, but that is a lot more detailed with like their compliance and their name brand recognition, because Paparazzi will not put their name on anything without something that's gonna bind them to it. So it would take some probably talking to compliance and finding out what it would detail. But I know that people can open up a brick and mortar store, or even like a little kiosk and stuff in malls. Let me see. So Crystal, I don't know, I know you weren't feeling very well. Do you feel well enough to chat for a minute, or would you rather skip it this time?
I can chat for a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm anxious to get your take on your convention experience. You being kind of a rather newer consultant, and experience in that, like, what has that opened up for you? How are you feeling in the moment?
It was pretty amazing to get there and see like just what I had accomplished in 7 months. I hit Premier Director, I had hit LLP Bronze, and I hit Crown Club 5. So I really didn't think it was that big of a deal at the time, honestly. And then I guess to kind of see it like manifest and see your name and be able to take your picture by your name 3 times, like that was pretty surreal, and it was a pretty emotional moment for me. And then the speakers, like especially the elite panel that they had, that was pretty eye-opening to see like how these women had started and where they are now. And they face the same struggles that we do daily as far as business and recruiting and stuff like that. I was able to go to the elite event, which was pretty awesome. I met a lot of awesome people and surround myself with success, and that's important to me. I think my favorite speaker was John Paul. That was probably my favorite, although Trent Shelton hit the nail on the head a few times, but oh my goodness. Just give him a little bite, baby. Sorry, my kids are fighting over bread. so yeah, his story just was just amazing, and it really helps you to put things into perspective and be all in 100% committed. And I have so many little nuggets that I wrote down and pictures. I took a lot of notes on my phone. I think I took about 10 pages worth of notes on my phone, plus in my notebook. So I do have that. I was gonna say something.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like so far in your business you've been all in?
I feel like I could have done more for sure.
Well, you know what? I just want to tell you, Crystal, that like you said, I like following you because you're humble, and when you say right now that, like, when you got to look at all of these different accomplishments that you've had over this last 7 months and feel like, wow, it kind of manifests into that feeling of accomplishment for a second. Like, what you may not realize, though, is that you're feeling this and you're seeing this and you're experiencing this within your first 7 months of this paparazzi business. Can you imagine where you're going to be looking ahead the next 2 years from now? Or the next 3 years from now, or put yourself in the position in time, chronologically, where, like, say Marissa or me or some of the other elites are. And I mean, when you say, like, I may have only done this, only, those are big feats for a 7-month commitment into this business. So as far as I'm concerned, I do think that you are all in. And I think that this convention right here, it has look at, like you said it yourself, you got to go to that elite experience, you know what I'm saying? You got to experience more than even a lot of other people have. So, like, take advantage of that and have that. And, like, I think what am I trying to say here? But, like, maybe you're the one that's like, this is all supposed to be for you. You know what I mean? Take possession of it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Ownership of all that she's done. I
Right.
agree with you, Christopher. I also admire Crystal 100% because it's tough. It's tough with the young babies, and gosh darn, girl, just the fact that you even got to go to convention and experience it. And I know that was a sacrifice. That was a sacrifice for so many of us to be away from home for that time. So I just pray that God would restore that time, maybe that you missed your kids and what have you, that he'll just, give that back to you in other ways, in newfound ways. I pray for healing in your body, Crystal. I don't know what you're experiencing. You do sound lethargic, girl. I'm not a doctor. Get some water in you. If you can get some watermelon and cut it up and just start munching on that watermelon, get that hydration going again. I
Charge
think
the batteries. Just get lots of rest. Get lots of rest.
Yeah. Get that hydration going.
My husband understands you, so it's kind of like somebody's got to take care of these kids. So it's been home, but I know we're gonna recover. It's gonna be fine. I think I'll go get a COVID test. They have them at, like, our grocery store that you can go and do, like, yourself for $20. You get 2 tests for like $20.
Did the home test for my cousin, for my husband, Crystal. It was really easy to do.
Yeah, that's what my husband said too. So yeah, I'll probably be trying to do that, but I'm probably gonna have to have. This is a lot of.
Well, do me a favor. Keep me on red alert if anybody happens to come across or hear of anybody that you've been in contact with, because I definitely want to try to make sure that I'm minimal of it too, even though I didn't go, Sarah did. So I want to make sure that so just keep us informed. I think, to be perfectly honest though, Crystal, don't let that even fear you, because you just experienced something that was just high power, high energy, and it sucked every bit of extra juice you had, probably just being able to obtain and keep that energy going, that by the time you got home now and you're in your comfort zone, your batteries are just dead.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, especially because I just want to sleep. I just want to
Well, and I won't lie,
not.
Sarah came home and she was like, like just on cloud nine. And then I think she was like in and out of sleep for like probably the next 12, 14 hours at least.
Oh, wow. Her heart. I know all of us came back tired. Can I read recognition book? And do we have enough people to attend convention? The front page of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you said. Let me mute Crystal for just a second because their background. Okay, go ahead and say that again.
The recognition book. Can I read that front page? Is there anybody that didn't attend convention on here? Besides, I think June was on here earlier, but is she still on here?
No, I don't think she is right now, but that's okay. We have replayers anyway, so yeah, feel free.
Okay, so the first page of this recognition, so Paparazzi handed out kind of like a yearbook, and the yearbook has all the names of the people that accomplished their ranks and so forth. And then they also have your 7-figure blingers. I thought there was pictures in here, but there's mainly names. But I wanted to read.
There's pictures of more of the like the black diamond and the higher ranks.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that, but like bronze access names were
Sarah
in.
didn't show me that yet, so I haven't got to see that.
And so there was a few, but anyways, but this year was Paparazzi's 10-year anniversary. So the recognition is, it says, when Paparazzi launched 10 years ago, it was with a leap of faith, without knowing the true extent of the journey we were about to embark on. We shared a bold vision, show the world that confidence can change the world. This year, that vision turns 10. That's 10 years of $5 habits being fed, 10 years of individuals discovering financial freedom, 10 years of empowerment, 10 years of parties, 10 years of changing the world, $5 at a time. Now it's time to celebrate. Whether you are being recognized for a new milestone in your business this year or not, as a Paparazzi consultant, you have a million reasons to celebrate. There are individuals who were once unable to look someone in the eye and can now celebrate their ability to go live on Facebook to thousands. Some get to celebrate a weekend getaway without stressing about bills going unpaid, while others celebrate a newfound friendship they've discovered. What makes you celebrate? On the pages that follow, you'll find the names of our Celebrate ticket holders who advanced in rank, joined the Crown Club, or became life of the party between July 1st, 2020 and June 30th, 2021. You'll also see the consultants who have secured the title of Bling Boss for 2021, earning 6 or 7 figures in commission since January. We are in awe of your ambition, inspired by your commitment to building a life you love, and honored to have you a part of the Paparazzi mission to make the change, to change the world $5 at a time. Congratulations on a remarkable year. Let's celebrate. Love, the Paparazzi team. So that one was so good. And then Erica Cole ended up getting the iconic Impressionista. So her PV was 3 million. No, it says 250 PV and 3 million OV. So her overall team was 3 million. And then 3 personally sponsored active consultants, 2 consecutive months. And then that was her lifetime rank achieved, is that iconic Impressionista. That was Erica Cole. And then the other iconic, there was 2 iconic Impressionistas. The other iconic Impressionista was, they didn't put her name on. Oh, Nina. No, not Nina. Erica Cole. What's her name? It just says Iconic Sparkle LLC. It doesn't have her name. It's just her business because she's an LLC. So it was this girl here. So she was the iconic.
I think that's how they're registered in the back office, because I saw a lot of company names on the board.
So this is
I think her name's Mandy.
Oh, Mandy.
Yeah, I think it's Mandy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mandy
So
French, I think.
So yeah, so that was an iconic, and then Impressionista was Nina Garcia Inc. Lux Jet Setter. So there was quite a bit. There was a
Oh yeah, there's a lot of recognition. You know, and it's great. Like Crystal says though, like she has her, you have the yearbook. Crystal has the yearbook, you know, and Crystal's in the yearbook for premiere director. She's in the yearbook for Crown Club 5. She's in the yearbook for you know, Life of the Party Bronze. You know, and you could be in that yearbook too. That's what's so important and so awesome about this is that
I love
you
it.
know, once you hit those ranks and those achievements, guys, you know, you don't just, you know, just hit that rank one time. I mean, like that's an achievement that's put into history there. You're in the recognition books for Paparazzi. You know,
Right.
that may not mean a lot to, you know, like, I mean, you look at other people's yearbooks now and you're like, oh, well, you're only worried about your own picture. But man, look at the people's names that you're in there with and look at what you're doing in this business and look at what you're achieving. And, you know,
I mean, huge. Yeah, this is huge. And then the other thing too is, okay, so here's the other thing. And I used to love, when I was in HR, I used to have to go through the employee files. And so, you know, I mean, I took my faith to another level, man. I would pray over every single personnel file that my hands touched and my hands came across. I would pray for their families, for their everything, finances, background, everything. I would pray over them. And so this is like a pot of gold to me. You know, there's so many names in here. I go, I can put this on my desk every morning and look through it and just pray over these people and that their lives would be touched in such a, you know, powerful way that they would get to know their savior. So, I mean, there's so many great things that can come out of this. I got my hands on more. I didn't know that I could request more. I just took one, you know, but there was people that came out with 4 or 5 of them. And I'm like, man, if I would have known, I would have picked my team.
Well, it depends on who you talk to, Angie, because some of the people handing them out only let you take one.
Oh.
So I went a little later and I said, can I get more than one? They're like, grab as many as you want. It was almost after the whole gala was over. And I grabbed 5.
Nice.
You have an extra one that like I would love to get one from you.
Okay.
I got one for my team members and Charlotte took one, but I have one for both me and Faith, and we both don't need a copy. So I can give you the one I was saving for me, Chris.
Oh,
are you sure? I mean, I don't want to take it from you, but if you have an extra one, I definitely would like to have one too. I know Sarah has
Sweetheart,
one
do I
of those
really
already,
need
but-
to have 2 recognition books? No, I just was like, cool, we can each have one. And then, you know, if I find someone that needs it, great, they can have it because we'll at least have one.
I wonder if like I'm sure they had leftovers too. I wonder what they'll do. You know, I'm going to actually email corporate and I'm going to see if they had any leftover of these. And I'm going to ask if we can request them. I don't know. It's worth a shot. So
I mean, what are they going to do if they had extras? Just throw them away? That'd be such a waste.
I'll email them right now here in a little bit, and I will let you guys know. I'll put it on our Elite Blingers page. I think this is just worth having for all of us. And it was actually only the people that attended conference that got their name in this book. So they didn't put in print, you know, you couldn't see anybody.
Yeah, if every, you know, people who got those recognitions but didn't actually attend are not in there?
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, they're not. Yep, exactly. They're not in there because my girls are not in there. That I have Angelina that hit producer, and her name wasn't in here. I was so bummed about that. But it does say here in the front that it says consultants who reach these milestones do not. Oh, there was somewhere. Please note that only registered Celebrate attendees who achieve a new lifetime rank between this and this will be listed. So that's a disclosure that they have at the bottom.
Oh, gotcha. Well, and that's another reason to, you know, make sure that you commit to your business and you plan ahead and you plan for next year's convention, because these are all benefits to you that are all business expenses and can become a business write-off.
Absolutely. Yeah. So definitely plan on being there next year.
So I I do want to thank everybody in the panel that's talked to us today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end the live from the YouTube.